So 2023 has almost come to a close, and today I, the film watcher, shall be giving y'all my bottom five films of the year. Some of these are blockbusters. I think all of them had a large budget. Well, not all of them, but most of them, which is kind of a shame. Anyway, I have a couple honorable mentions, those being Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, a stupid, pretty boring, excessively long movie that is overstuffed with CGI and goofy effects, and it just doesn't feel like an Indiana Jones movie should. Also, Harrison Ford is 80 years old. I don't know. There's some good moments in there, and he's great, but it's an 80-year-old man. It is the lead of an action adventure movie. That feels so odd. I don't know. And it just doesn't really work. And the other one I had was The Nun 2, which I only saw like half of, but the half that I did see was kind of boring and hard to see and not really that scary. So yeah, I didn't want to put it on the full list because I didn't see the whole thing, but it wasn't very good. Number five, beginning our list here, is Shazam: Fury of the Gods. Um, I I really didn't like this movie. I, along with many other fans, really enjoyed the first movie. I thought it was a good adaptation of the comic books, and Shazam is like one of my favorite comic book characters of all time. He has kind of a special place in my heart. So, this movie disappointed me a lot. Like, I enjoyed it when I watched it in theaters, and it's fun sometimes, but it's so hard for me to care about anything that's happening because they don't do anything like with any of the characters. I feel like like aside, they try to give Billy this character arc, but it doesn't really work because when he's Billy, he's he's all about like moving on and growing up or whatever. But then when he's Shazam, he's just doing the same yeah, I just threw a truck at a dragon. I love my life. Hey, hey, and like making pop culture references, and they just don't feel like the same person. And that I feel like when the director himself acknowledges that, that's not good. So yeah, I didn't enjoy this movie. It's like they traded in all the emotion and the heart of the first film for like the big action spectacle stuff, and that's just so disappointing. That's such a weird way to take this sequel when there's so many different directions you could have gone with it. Weird. There was even a sequel to the comic book on which the first film was based. That sequel is not very good, but it's something. It's better than this stupid movie. Anyway, number four is Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Yeah, it's bad. It's such a generic movie. It I don't know, all the characters are stupid. The kills are all come exactly when you'd expect them to. And the only difference between this and every other generic slasher movie that's ever been made is the fact that they pretend that the killers are Winnie the Pooh and Piglet. And I'm sorry, I just do not enjoy seeing these characters do that sort of thing. I don't know. It's such a because I don't really love the idea of these cute stuffed animal characters who are always joyous and fun and stuff, being these enormous hulking abominations that go around killing people. Why do I want to watch this again? Why are you making a sequel? Why does anybody want a sequel? Why Reese Frake Waterfield? It's the guy who directed the movie, by the way. Why? He's probably watching. Anyway, bad movie. Bad. Number three is Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. This movie really bugged me. Oh, was that a bad joke? I'm sorry. Every joke in this movie is probably a little bit better, but they're still bad. Like, this feels like such a lame imitation of what the MCU used to be, when it was good. And, Paul Rudd's fine. he's solid. Can't complain about him. Um, Jonathan Majors gives a good performance. Actually makes Kang interesting when in the movie he's not really that interesting. He's kind of as a character. He gets defeated by ants. I am Kang. You talk to ants. That's a line in the movie. Stupid movie. Anyway, this was the wrong movie to introduce him in. All the conflicts, the setup of the movie is terrible. The conflict between Scott and his daughter, I did not buy at all. MODOK, what? I feel like they could have made MODOK the main villain if they'd made him not stupid and actually threatening. Saved Kang for something else, or just don't have Kang in this movie because he's out of here now. But I mean, they did. They of course they didn't know that then, but like, and I can't really blame that on Marvel. But either way, MODOK was bad. This movie was bad. I swear, when I watched this movie in theaters, when MODOK's stupid wide face appeared on screen, the entire audience erupted in laughter, and it was because it was funny. He's a funny character. He's the only like worthwhile thing about this movie. I mean, there's like one good scene, but like, come on, you're gonna watch this entire movie for that one good scene? Please, maybe you will. I don't know. Bad movie. I did not like it. Number two is 65. Oh, this stupid, terrible movie. So when I first watched the trailer for this, I was like, oh man, this looks awesome. Like, Adam Driver playing a human who somehow, through some weird configuration, accidentally gets sent back to 65 million years ago and has to fight the dinosaurs. That's like that's like a frightening concept, and it's really cool, and like Adam Driver, that's a great choice. But what actually happens in the movie is Adam Driver is an alien from some unknown planet who just happens to look exactly like a human, by the way, who, accidentally crash lands on Earth and, like, fights dinosaurs and just kind of has to walk somewhere with a child that's also somehow there, and, like, the problem with that is, like, he doesn't know that they're dinosaurs. Like, he he doesn't know what dinosaurs are. He doesn't he like they could this could be any other old alien monster thing, and I'm pretty sure they just made up dinosaurs for this movie, or at least exaggerated some of the designs, which, like, if you're going to do that, why not just make them aliens? Like, then you can do whatever you want. You're not limited by what dinosaurs actually were. But why wouldn't you have him know what these things are? Like, that's so much better of a concept than, like, him going to some unknown planet and fighting some unknown beasts that he doesn't know what they are. The fact that they're dinosaurs does not matter. Why would you do this, people? Oh man. And then there's, like, you don't really care about Adam Driver's character. Can't remember his name. I can't really remember anything about this movie. It's such a forgettable, generic film when it should have been so much better. But number one, I don't know what I expected of this movie. My number one, my least favorite film of the year is Meg 2 The Trench. Maybe I have a little bit of disdain for this movie because I stayed at a drive-in movie theater until like 1 a.m. to watch it, and I was tired. But it was the summer. Who cares? So, Meg 2 The Trench. Don't know why it's not called The Meg 2. It's just Meg. It's terrible. It's so dumb. The human characters get way too much of a focus. You don't care about any of them. Still can't remember any of their names. Like, I'm trying to think of Jason Statham's character's name. I got nothing. Don't care. So, the first half of the movie, the sharks appear like once, and then, oh wait, there's like two of them or three of them. Who knows? Who gives a crap? And then in like the climax of the movie, mild spoilers if you care about spoilers, to Meg 2 The Trench. There's a kraken that just shows up like out of nowhere, and like, oh man, Meg's big giant sharks are gonna fight a big giant kraken. Oh my god, that's awesome! Like on a beach, with in between a bunch of boats, like that's cool. No, that's not what happens. Instead, the Kraken shows up for like 5 minutes, thrashes around its tentacles. You don't get to see what it looks like beyond just the tentacles. There's a couple shots of it fighting the Meg that are poorly filmed where you can't tell what's going on because it's dark and underwater and what have you. And then the Kraken just kind of leaves. I'm sorry. What? Like it and the movie ends so abruptly. Like it's like you think there should be something else. I don't really want there to be something else because I wanted to go home, but I feel like they could have done something a lot cooler. Like, the Kraken emerges onto the beach and eats Jason Statham, or, whoever else was on the beach. I remember there was a beach at the end of the movie because it's a movie with sea dwelling creatures, there's probably going to be a beach. Shocking. Oh, this movie is bad. It's bad. I hate it. I didn't really hate it. I just really, really did not care about anything that was going on, and I was so bummed that like they did. The one thing that the Meg movies can do is cool shark action, because that's what the first movie had. That's really all the first movie had. It was that, and like, Rainn Wilson showed up for a couple minutes. That was kind of cool, but like nothing else about that movie was that appealing. It was just the sharks. They couldn't even give us that. That is so disappointing to me. I don't know. This is a bad movie. This was not a great year for movies in general. There were some good movies for sure, but like not the best year. Anyway, I probably have to leave pretty soon. Gotta go film a movie. Anyway, thank you for watching. Share your own bad 2023 movies in the comments down below. I'm sure there are several. Thank you for watching. Keep calm and watch on.